Although many species have been discovered around the world, I'm sure you haven't seen most of them. In this video, I've compiled a list of animals you've probably never seen before. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Let's move on to the video. Also known as the Galapagos batfish, the red-lipped batfish is a strange and surprising fish found off the coast of the Galapagos Islands and Peru. With their bright red mouths, strange nose, and unusual behaviors, it's hard to miss one of these sea creatures. The red-lipped batfish is what is known as a piscivore invertivore. This means that their diet consists of small fish and small invertebrates. They're related to several other color-lipped batfish that you may find in the Pacific Ocean, such as the rosy-lipped batfish. When it comes to fish, the red-lipped batfish is probably one of the most unfish-like fish there is. From walking to fishing for other fish, there's no end to the surprises that this unique species offers. A list of facts about the red-lipped batfish wouldn't be complete without talking about their iconic mouth. However, despite studies, we haven't been able to pinpoint the exact reason they sport this red pout. Some studies believe that it helps them find a mate, which would make sense considering the great lengths some species go to when finding love. You won't find the red-lipped batfish surfing the waves. Instead, you'll need to put on your scuba diving gear to meet one face-to-face. The red-lipped batfish is mostly commonly found at depths ranging from 3 to almost 80 meters deep. However, they can be found in waters as deep as 120 meters. That's almost like putting the Great Pyramid of Giza completely underwater. Despite living at such impressive depths, the red-lipped batfish isn't actually a good swimmer. In fact, if you were to watch one of the ocean floors, you'd notice that they barely swim at all. Instead, the red-lipped batfish demonstrates a strange behavior by walking along the ocean floor. Despite being a smaller fish, the red-lipped batfish has no direct threats that we know of. One reason for this may be the fact that they are bottom dwellers in such deep water areas. This may help protect them from many large animals that could otherwise be predators. You tromp through a low-elevation rainforest in Madagascar and hear strange squeaks and chirps emerging from out of the plants below you. You creep forward to investigate. Suddenly, you see a group of animals unlike anything that you've seen before. 10 of them are sniffing along the ground with long, pointy snouts that look almost like bird beaks. They are pretty small, maybe the size of a hamster. Their bodies are roundish and covered with spines like a hedgehog. They have the bright colors of a bumblebee with yellow streaks running down their bodies. To top it all off, each of the animals has a bright yellow crown of spikes on its head. So, have you been transported to another planet filled with these weird little animals that you have never seen or heard of before? Of course not. You have encountered a family of lowland streaked Tenrecs. These animals are not hedgehogs, birds, or bumblebees, even if they look like a hodgepodge of these animals smashed together. They are one of many species of Tenrecs living on Madagascar. Lowland streaked Tenrecs look unlike any other Tenrec species except for their cousins, who live in high-elevation rainforests. Highland streaked Tenrecs are as spectacularly weird as their lowland cousins, but they have white streaks like racing stripes running down their sides instead of yellow ones. Streaked Tenrecs are very social animals and live in family groups with both males and females. They are the only kind of Tenrec that lives in family groups. Streaked Tenrec families forage in the forest for soft-bodied invertebrates, such as worms and beetle larvae. They have very fragile jawbones and can only eat soft food, which means their entire diet is soft-bodied invertebrates and a small amount of fruit. If they tried to eat anything harder, it could damage or even break their jaws. Sometimes streaked Tenrec families get separated in the forest and need to communicate with each other. A streaked Tenrec has special spines on its back that it can rub together to produce high-pitched squeaks and chirps, like a violinist running her bow across a violin string. This process is called stridulation. Crickets and other insects commonly use stridulation to communicate, but streaked Tenrecs are the only mammals that are known to stridulate. Tufted deer live in northeast Burma, Myanmar, and southern and central China. Their range extends from 24 to 35 degrees N latitude and from 98 to 122 degrees E longitude. Tufted deer live in forested regions at high altitudes, between about 300 and 4,600 meters above sea level, and in rainforests in high-altitude valleys. Their habitat is always near water. Tufted deer are similar in appearance to muntjac, although they are slightly larger. They weigh from 17 to 50 kilograms and are 110 to 160 centimeters long, with a shoulder height of 50 to 70 centimeters. The tail is 7 to 16 centimeters long. The coat is coarse and dark gray or brown, with a dark gray head and neck. The underside is white, including the underside of the tail, and the lips and the tips of their ears are also white. Tufted deer gets their name from the tuft of hair on the forehead, which can sometimes hide the small antlers of the male. These antlers are simple and spiked, growing from short, bony pedicles. Tufted deer have no upper incisors, but their upper canines are long and tusk-like, similar to those of the muntjac. Male tufted deer are slightly larger than females. When a tufted deer fawn is born, its coloration is similar to that of an adult tufted deer, but with two parallel rows of spots on the back, on either side of the spine. These spots fade and disappear when the young deer reaches maturity. Tufted deer mate in late fall and early winter. The young are born in the early summer after a gestation of 180 days. However, a female tufted deer at the Twycross Zoo in the United Kingdom gave birth after an average gestation period of 240 days over the course of 5 years. Tufted deer usually give birth to 1 or 2 fawns per year. Until the age of 6 months, a young deer is dependent on its mother. Tufted deer become sexually mature between 18 months and 2 years of age. In captivity, tufted deer live to as long as 15 years. Their longevity in the wild is not well documented. Tufted deer eat leaves, twigs, fruits, grasses, and other types of vegetation. They are both browsers and grazers. These deer tear off vegetation to eat by pressing the lower incisors against a callus pad that takes the place of upper incisors. It is a medium-sized species of sea snail of the family Glaucidae. It is also known as the blue sea snail, blue ocean snail, blue dragon, or sea lizard. It is 6 centimeters long and can be found in all oceans and temperate tropical waters. They can feed by preying on other species, or they can cannibalize and prey on their own species. Thanks to the gas sacs in their abdomens, they can float on the surface of the water, and they can swim from the surface to the depths of the ocean. Their arms are ornamented to protect them from both swimming and flying predators. This type of camouflage is called countershading. The underside is grayish. This blends in with the color of the water surface and protects against predators from below. Another characteristic is that they feed on hydrozoans, which are highly poisonous. But G. atlanticus and other sea snails swallow these poisonous cells without harming themselves. Although it is not certain how they are protected from these poisonous cells, it is thought to be through the secretion of a protective mucus. This poison stored in the body is used against predators. Like other sea snails, G. atlanticus is a hermaphrodite, meaning that it has both male and female reproductive organs. This species was first discovered in 1777. These tiny animals belong to the taxonomic group Nudibranchia, known as sea hares or sea slugs. Many sea hares are very colorful and interesting-looking animals, as you can see in this photo. They are one of the simplest invertebrates in evolutionary terms, with 2,300 species known today. Star-nosed moles are one of the most distinctive types of mammal. Their noses are hairless and ringed by a unique star of 22 pink fleshy tentacles. The star has 11 appendages per side that vary in length from 1 to 4 mm. This species ranges from 175 to 205 mm in total length and weighs between 35 and 75 g. Like other moles, it has a stout, roughly cylindrical body with heavily built forelimbs, broad feet, and large claws. Its hair is short, dense, and coarser than that of other moles. The pelage is dark brown to black on the back and lighter brown underneath. During winter, the tail swells 3 to 4 times its normal diameter. Where do they live? Condor cristata is native to eastern North America. This species ranges further north than other New World talpids, reaching about 55° N latitude in Quebec and Newfoundland. The range extends from the Atlantic Ocean west to Manitoba and North Dakota, and south to Ohio and Virginia. Condor cristata is also found along the Atlantic coast, south to Georgia, as well as throughout the Appalachian Mountains. Not much is known about the lifespan of Condor cristata in the wild. Since a female's reproductive effort is limited to only 1 litter per year, it is speculated that C. cristata may have a relatively long lifespan for a mammal of its size, perhaps 3 to 4 years. Some star-nosed moles have lived 2 years in captivity. Thank you for watching. If you like this episode, there will be a second episode. See you soon.